Red Heart If Hearts Could Speak. A romantic and sensual love story. Reina always believed that silence was safer than love. At 23, she lived alone in her small apartment, surrounded by books, coffee mugs, and the gentle ache of an old heartbreak she never spoke about. And then he moved in next door. Ayan was the kind of man whose presence filled the room before he spoke. Calm eyes, warm smile, and a voice that sounded like midnight rain. They met on the balcony one evening, both watching the sunset as if it was a secret meant only for them. "Beautiful view," he said. "Only when the right people see it," she replied with a shy smile. Something began that day, something soft, slow, and dangerous. Crescent moon where eyes become words. They grew closer, sharing late-night tea, unfinished conversations, and stolen glances that said more than words ever could. One night, the power went out. Reina stepped onto the dim balcony, and Ayan was already there, holding a candle, looking at her as though she was the light. "You look scared," he whispered. "Maybe I'm scared of feeling again," she said softly. He took a step closer. Her breath trembled. His fingers brushed hers, warm, gentle, electric. That single touch said everything they had never dared to speak. Fire the Night Hearts finally spoke. Inside her apartment, lit only by candlelight, they stood inches apart. Silence wrapped around them, deep, magnetic, alive. Ayan cupped her face. "Reina, if hearts could speak, mine would shout your name." Her eyes glistened. She leaned into him. Their lips met, slow, searching, filled with all the feelings they had been hiding. The kiss deepened. His hands held her waist, pulling her closer. Her fingers traced the lines of his shoulders. It wasn't wild. It wasn't rushed. It was intimate, tender, breathless. Their bodies moved to the rhythm of longing, discovering each other with soft touches and quiet gasps. Every moment felt like poetry written on skin. Every heartbeat felt like a confession. When they finally lay in each other's arms, wrapped in warmth, wrapped in love, Reina whispered. "My heart finally spoke, and it said your name too." Ayan kissed her forehead, smiling against her skin. "Then don't let it go quiet again." And she didn't. Sparkle's perfect ending. They weren't two lonely people anymore. They were two hearts learning to speak again together. Red Heart If Hearts Could Speak, Part 2. The touch that changes everything. The morning after their first night together, Reina woke up before Ayan. Sunlight slipped through the curtains, painting his sleeping face in soft gold. She watched him silently, the rise and fall of his chest, the calmness on his lips, the warmth of his arms still wrapped around her waist. For the first time in years, she felt safe. Ayan opened his eyes slowly, catching her staring. "Are you watching me?" he asked in a sleepy, teasing voice. "Maybe," she whispered, blushing. "Good. I want you to." He brushed his thumb across her cheek, so gently that her breath trembled. His touch wasn't just physical, it went deeper, touching the part of her heart she had kept locked away. Crescent moon growing closer. Days passed, and their connection only deepened. Sometimes Ayan cooked dinner in her kitchen, humming while she watched him from the counter. Sometimes they sat on the balcony, sharing secrets they had never shared with anyone else. But the nights were different. Those nights carried heat. Longing. Unspoken desire. Fire the night of confession. One evening, after a late dinner, rain began pouring outside. The room felt warm, dim, and quiet except for their heartbeats, louder than the rain. Reina walked toward him slowly. Ayan was leaning against the wall, watching her approach with eyes that held both restraint and desire. "Ayan," she whispered. "I'm scared of how much I feel for you." He stepped closer, placing a hand on the small of her back. "Then let me feel for both of us." Their lips met again, deeper this time, full of need. Her fingers slid into his hair, his hands traveled along her waist, pulling her against him. The kiss grew warmer, slower, more desperate. They moved toward the couch, still kissing, still breathing each other in. He lifted her chin gently. "Tell me if you want me to stop." "Don't stop," she breathed. Their bodies wrapped around each other, hungry yet soft, passionate yet tender. Every touch was a promise. Every breath was a confession. That night wasn't just physical. It was emotional. Intense. Transforming. Sparkles after the passion. As they lay together, Reina tracing circles on his chest, Ayan whispered, "I don't want to lose you." "Then don't," she replied softly. "Stay. Every night. Every morning." Reina smiled a smile filled with love. Maybe hearts didn't need words. Maybe they just needed moments like this.